Welcome to Furlongs and Horses. My name is Rachel. I am your host. You can find the previews for both of today's races at furlongdrive.blogspot.com. It is Friday, February 6, 2015. I have previews for two races today. The first one will be the Donn Handicap. It is a grade 1 at a mile and eighth for 4-year-olds and up. It is the first grade 1 of the year for the older horses. There are 10 horses entered. I believe more than half of the field is 4. The other race is the grade 2 San Antonio. It's also at a mile and eighth, and there's a field of 9 entered. And this is probably the better of the two races because you have the horse of the year, a horse who has only been defeated once, and a horse on a rise. So I'm going to start out with talking about the Donn, and then I will go into the San Antonio. Number 1 is Constitution. Javier Castellano will ride for Todd Fletcher. He is by Tappet. Third in Clark, fourth in an allowance optional claimer. He has a few wins over the Gulfstream surface. Last year, when he was 3, he won the Florida Derby. And then before that, he won an allowance that featured both Tonalist and Wicked Strong. Both of them went on to win Grade 1 races. Of course, Tonalist, the Belmont, and the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and Wicked Strong, the Wood Memorial, and he came a nose short in the Travelers to his stablemate. I think Constitution is going in the right direction. I feel like he is possibly the best of the 4-year-olds that are in this race. There is another horse starting right next to him who I think is also good, but I don't think he is as good as Constitution. Actually, let's get into number 2, and that is Commissioner. John Velasquez will ride for Todd Fletcher. He is by AP Indy, third in the allowance optional claimer, and then he was second to Tonalist in the Belmont. His one other start, though, at Gulfstream, other than his third last time out, which was his first start since the Belmont, was a 6th in the Fountain of Youth. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, that race was not a terrible race from him, that allowance optional claimer. But I just don't think about it more, and the fact that his stablemate is in this race. I don't like his chances at all here. Number 3 is East Hall. Luis Saez rides for Bill Kaplan. He is by Graham Hall. Second in the Sunshine Millions Classic and won the Classic Preview. He has won 3 of his last 5 races, and he's a horse who's a bit on the rise as well. Got caught short last time against Florida Breds, but we'll see. This is a bit of a step up class for him either way, because he had been running in grade 2s and grade 3s. So if he can take that grade 2 and grade 3 form and put it into a grade 1 level, that would be great. Number 4 is Lee, the defending champ. Joel Rosario will ride for Belmont. He is by First Samurai. Defended his House Hope title last time out, and that was actually his first start since last year's Donn. It's obvious that he loves Gulfstream, as his last 3 races have been all wins when he's been at Gulfstream. My concern is, can he stay healthy? I don't know if he can or not. I do think he has a great chance in this race to win, but to stay healthy the entire year, I am not 1,000% sure about. Number 5 is Illinois, and I butchered his name. Julian Leperoux rides for Kieran McLaughlin. He is by Street Sense. Won the native dancer and 6th in the Queens County, but he has the pedigree to go 9 furlongs. Other than being by Street Sense, he is a half-brother to 2 Grade 1 winners, To Honor and Serve and Angela Renee. They're both by Bernardini. But, of course, To Honor and Serve won the Woodward at this distance. And Angela Renee happens to be a Pletcher trainee. But she should be starting her road to the Oaks very soon. Ellen Hawaii is probably a little bit below his older brother, younger sister. But like Todd, Kieran is a former Lucas assistant, so he knows what he's doing. Number 6 is Catholic Cowboy. Paco Lopez will ride for Nick Zito. He is by Heat Seeker, 3rd behind East Hall in the Sunshine Millions Classic, and he won the Claiming Jewel. This is his greatest stakes debut, and it's Nick Zito, so you can't not love Nick Zito. But in this race, again, taking a monster step up. Bigger step than East Avenue. I almost said Sloan Avenue, who I will talk about in a minute. Because at least East Hall was running in graded stakes, whereas Catholic Cowboy has been running primarily in claimers, and then of course he won Claiming Crown race and 3rd in the Sunshine Millions Classic. Number 7 is Sloan Avenue. Jose Lezcano will ride for Jeremy Nocita. He is by Candy Ride. Won the Hyde at Kempton, which is in England, and then 8th in the Hill Prince. This is going to be his dirt debut. Usually you don't know what you're going to get from horses who have run primarily on grass, synthetic, but he is bred for dirt. Other than being by Candy Ride, he is from a very good female family. Blame, probably the biggest name from there. I believe he is out of a half-sister to him, I believe. So I think he has a decent chance here. Jeremy Nocita, even though he's a European trainer, has won a Grade 1 on dirt in the U.S. I don't think he's won one since Wilco won the Juvenile in 2004, though. So this would be a big win. I have to say, if he wins, he probably will go to Dubai, and then probably will come back to the U.S. with a American trainer, which is somewhat the opposite of Invasora, where Invasora went with a, I think, Shadwell's UAE trainer, and then he went to Kieran McLaughlin. Number 8 is Protonico. Joe Bravo ride for Todd Pletcher. He is by Giants Causeway. 2nd in Clark to Opportunity, who I will talk about in my San Antonio portion. And before that, he won the Discovery. He is probably, along with Constitution Commissioner, has faced some very, very nice horses as a 3-year-old. He faced Opportunity, Bayern, California Chrome, and he lost to all 3 of them. Well, so I don't know how well he will do here, especially against like Lee, who I think is a better horse than the horses who were the older horses in the classic. So it's gonna be an interesting race for him. Number 9 is Blue Tone. Corey Lennery will ride for Robert Hess. He is by Birdstone, and I don't blame his connections for coming here. Third in the Stan Pasquale and second in the Native Diver. All his wins have been on synthetic. The San Antonio is stacked. There are 3 horses who have great chances to win. So I do not blame, even though it's a dirt race, and that's even a dirt race, that they ship to the East Coast to go here instead. Even though all of his wins have been on synthetic, he is by Birdstone, so dirt really shouldn't be a big problem. I don't think he's gonna win, but I think he will be there at the end, for like the second, third position possibly. And number 10 is Prayer for Relief. Edgar Zayas rides for Dale Romans. Of course, he's by Jumpstart. I've been talking about Prayer for Relief for a long time now. Third in the House Hope, 6th in the Clark. His last win was in December of 2013, so he has not won in over a year now. And he is the old man of this group. He is the only 7-year-old. Lee and Blue Tone are the next 2 older, but they're 6-year-olds, so he needs a big win. He really does. The good news is that it seems like that he seems to do better finishing wise when he has a further out post. And post 10 is not the greatest, but for him it might not be a big deal. That being said, I don't know if he can beat these horses. So that is this year's Donn field. So once again, number 1 is Constitution. Number 2 is Commissioner. Number 3 is East Hall. Number 4 is Lee. Number 5 is Illinois. Number 6 is Catholic Cowboy. Number 7 is Sloan Avenue. Number 8 is Protonico. Number 9 is Blue Tone. And number 10 is Prayer for Relief. Because I'm doing both previews in one video, I'm not going to take a break for the picks. I'm going to do the picks right now. So to win, I like Lee. I just feel like that the 3-year-olds that are in this field were not going to be among the top East Coast 3-year-olds. Of course, you don't have Wicked Strong or Tonalist or V.E. Day in this race. They'll all probably show up later. In the case of Wicked Strong, we probably won't see him till Belmont opens. But I just feel like that out of these horses, Lee's the best in the fact that he has won 3 straight on Gulfstream, even though injuries kept him out for a year. I just feel like he's the best horse in this race. And second, I like Constitution. I like that he's going in the right direction, unlike Commissioner, who I feel is going in the wrong direction. And in third, I like Sloan Avenue. And the reason why I'm going with the European is because, again, I'm not 100% sure sold on Commissioner. I'm not 100% sold on Blue Tone. I'm not 100% sold on East Hall. And I'm not 100% sold on Protonico. Prayer for Relief and Catholic Cowboy and Illinois, I'm throwing out because I just don't think they have a chance to hit the board. Whereas those four, I think, have a chance. And so by default, I'm picking Sloan Avenue to finish third. Can he finish higher? Absolutely. And for this week, I have 3 dark horses for the Donn. I'm going with East Hall, just the fact that he's been running very well recently. Blue Tone, just the fact that he is skipping the San Antonio, which is probably a tougher race than this one. And Protonico, just the fact that he has the back class. So again, to win, I like Lee. To place, I like Constitution. And to show, I like Sloan Avenue. And my 3 dark horses are East Hall, Blue Tone, and Protonico. So that is it for my Donn preview. So up next will be the San Antonio. Number 1 is Opportunity. Martin Garcia will ride for Bob Baffert, and he's basically a backup plan because Bayern had an injury and was unable to go. And getting back to Opportunity, he is by Any Given Saturday. He won the Clark and the San Pasquale, second to California Chrome, who I will talk about in a little bit, in last year's San Antonio Derby, and he is a horse who, like a few in the, as I said, in the Donn, is going the right direction. He's going forward instead of backward. I feel like, though, being on the rail is probably not the best idea with him. That being said, the fact that he's on the rail, it is the shortest trip around. And he will be chasing a horse who I think has a possibly good shot to defeat him and California Chrome and another horse who I will talk about as well in a few minutes. But Opportunity is a very dangerous horse in this race. Number 2 is Tornado M. Rafael Bejarano will ride for Jerry Hollendorfer. He is by Rock Hard 10. 4th in the San Pasquale. 2nd in the Zia Park Derby. He is a Grade 1 winner in Puerto Rico. And he's kind of the, like, in the way Opportunity, he's the B team for his trainer, who has shared belief in this race. The fact is, though, is that Tornado M, I wouldn't be surprised if he upstages his stablemate if he gets the win of it. Because then all of a sudden, like, what's happened to shared belief? He's lost his 2 out of 3. Even though you can kind of draw a line through that classic. But I will talk about that when I talked about him in a few minutes. The thing about Tornado M is, yes, he's a Grade 1 winner in Puerto Rico, but it was Puerto Rico. He isn't a Grade 1 winner in the U.S., and this is a Grade 2, but the horses that are in this race are Grade 1 caliber horses. So, I'm not sure about him. Number 3 is You Know, I Know. Drayden Van Dyke will ride for John Sadler. He is by Simon Pure. 8th in the Pacific Classic. 3rd in the San Diego. All 3 wins have been on synth or grass. Toss out. Not even gonna touch him. Matter of fact, there's another horse in this race that I think the morning line odds are the same, and I think he has a very significant better chance than You Know, I Know does. Number 4 is Imperative. Flavian Pratt rides for George Papadromo. He's by Bernardini. 15th in the Champions Cup. That is what was formerly known as the Japan Cup Dirt. I believe that was at Tokyo. And 9th in the Breeders' Cup Classic. last year's runner-up in the San Antonio to, I forget who won. I think, wait. No, the defending champ is not in this race, I thought. He was, he might actually be retired for all I know. I forget who it was. It was not Game Undo, though. I do remember that. Imperative, as I talked about in my classic preview, up and down. I think he's going the wrong direction. I don't like him at all in this race. Number 5 is Shared Belief. Mike Smith will ride for Jerry Hollendorfer, and he's by Candy Ride. And now we're getting into the meat and potatoes. Yes, we have opportunity. Yes, California Chrome is in this race. Shared Belief was one DQ away from hitting the board in all his races. The only race, actually being in the top 3, not hitting the board, because he was 4th in the Classic, and then he won the Malibu. It's an interesting prospect to think of. He had so many question marks about him last year, and he answered them all. And he is a horse who missed the Triple Crown as an opportunity, but opportunity was going to go in the Derby. But he missed the Triple Crown last year, Shared Belief did. Came back, defeated older males. Not once, but twice. Byron can't say that. California Chrome can't say that. And both of them got more first place votes than he did for 3-year-old male. That says something. Shared Belief, I feel like it's going to be, when it all is said and done, your top older male. I don't know if he'll be Horse of the Year, but I believe for 2015 he will be your top older male, with the exception of a certain East Coast horse, who I will hopefully be talking about in about a month or two, and that being Wicked Strong. Getting back to the San Antonio now, number 6 is Clubhouse Ride. Aaron Grider will ride for Craig Lewis. He is by Candy Ride as well. 11th in the Clockart's Corner and 9th in the Daytona. Unfortunately, I think Father Time has finally caught up with Clubhouse Ride. I don't think he's run that great last year. The good news is he was second in this race in 2013. But again, that was when he was 5, and now he's 7. So I don't know. I think this will be his last hurrah. I don't know. And I love Clubhouse Ride because he ran so well. I believe he defeated Painter when Painter was making his 4-year-old stakes debut. Because he had started in that allowance race, and then he won 2 stakes, and he ran great in the San Diego. In defeating Painter. Painter ran great as well, finishing second in that race. But I just feel like Clubhouse Ride has somewhat past his prime now. Number 7 is Bronzo. Gary Stevens will ride for Neil Drysdale. He is by Fusaichi Pegasus. 6th in San Pasquale, 4th in the Dirt Mile, which was his U.S. debut. He won his last 2 starts in his native Chile. Again, I don't know. I don't think he's an automatic toss-out like I know. But he just hasn't done a lot in the U.S. I mean, it's great he finished 4th, in the dirt mile to Golden Sense. Golden Sense is retired now, so I don't know. Again, another one I don't know. Number 8 is the Horse of the Year, California Chrome. He is by Lucky Pulpit. Victor Espinoza will ride. Art Sherman trains. Third in the Classic. Won the Hollywood Derby. That probably helped him get Horse of the Year honors over Main Sequence. I think had he not gone in the Hollywood Derby, he would not have been Horse of the Year. That would have been Main Sequence instead. I'm expecting him to regress a little bit this year. I'm not 100% sold on him. It doesn't help that his owners last year somewhat soured his Triple Crown journey for me at the end in the Belmont. But that's just a personal thing. I would not be surprised if Shared Belief and Opportunity beat him in every race this year. Bayern, I'm not sure about. But, again, we'll have to see. It would not be surprising if he were to win this race, but I don't think he'll win. And number 9 is Alpha Bird. Tyler Bays will ride for Victor Garcia. He is by Birdstone. Stakes debut. Broke his maiden and won an allowance optional claimer. But he has never been worse than second. He'll be probably your pace setter, and he'll be chased by Opportunity, Shared Belief, and California Chrome. That's a bit of a scary trio to chase you, but I think out of those 3 horses, he has best chance to win. I don't think he'll win. I don't think he'll be in the top 3. But if he can get loose and Lee like Bayern did, and can, he'll win. Regardless, because I don't think California Chrome is a great closer. Shared Belief, I think, can run down a loose on lead horse. I just don't know if he will in this race, and I don't know about Opportunity at all. So, I think Alpha Bird has a good chance, but not a great chance to win. So, that is the field for the San Antonio. Again, number 1, Opportunity. Number 2, Tornado M. Number 3, You Know I Know. Number 4, Imperative. Number 5, Shared Belief. Number 6, Clubhouse Ride. Number 7, Bronzo. Number 8, California Chrome. Number 9, Alpha Bird. And so that is your field. So for my picks to win the San Antonio, I'm going with Shared Belief. I believe he is the best horse in the race. He has not beaten Opportunity or California Chrome yet, but I just feel like with how everything's been set up, I feel like that he can and will in this race. That being said, I would not be surprised if Opportunity or California Chrome win this race. For that reason, I have Opportunity in second, only for the fact that I think he already has a race under his belt this year. I mean, yes, Shared Belief and California Chrome ran in December, but California Chrome ran in early December, whereas Shared Belief ran in late December. So there's a little bit of a difference. Opportunity ran in November, and then he ran in January. So that's the only reason why I have Opportunity second over California Chrome. And then third, I do have California Chrome. It's because he is the Derby and Previous winner. He is the Santa Anita Derby winner. He is the Hollywood Derby winner. He is your Horse of the Year. I don't agree with him being Horse of the Year, but he was. So I think he'll need a race, just to get his racing legs back underneath him. But as the year goes on, it might get more interesting. As I said, I feel like shared belief will be hit every time. But I wouldn't be surprised, as I also said, that if Opportunity or California Chrome win this race. For my dark horses, again, I have multiple dark horses. I'm going with Tornado M and Alpha Bird. And the reason why I'm going with them is that they are both of them, and I think they both have great chances to be at least third. I don't think they'll be higher than second. So again, to win, I like Shared Belief. In second, I like Opportunity. And then third, I like California Chrome. And my dark horses are Tornado M and Alpha Bird. So that is it for this week. The January month in review video will be up tomorrow or Sunday. I'm not 100% sure yet. But I'm going to actually record that next. And then I will be back next week with other videos. Of course, there are a couple of derby preps this week with the Robert Lewis and the Withers. Unfortunately, I don't have time to preview those. I feel like that these two races were more important to preview. But we're getting down to crunch time. Soon we're going to see the Fountain of Youth. We're going to see the Risen Star. We're going to see some very nice horses. And you're going to see 3-year-olds start to pull away from each other. So that is it for this week. And I will see you next week. Bye.